Good day, welcome to our Community Infinity Safety Awareness podcast, where we bring the different topics related to the humankind. Before we go further, we would like to acknowledge we are on Treaty 6 land. Thank you for all the what you have done, all the ancestors, what they have done, and have created a beautiful land for all of us. Today, we have our young couple who have recently joined the volunteering and they are working full time too. We are going to talk to them how they manage, like the family thing, the working hours and doing the volunteer and what they achieve, what help they like, what mental or satisfaction they get out of it. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Navpreet, for joining
Thanks,
us.
Sunny.
Uh,
Thanks, Sunny.
so, um, Before I go further, you are a young couple, right? I'm young by heart too, but but as what motivated you to join volunteering and doing the community work?
First of all, I'm really thankful of you who gave us a chance to, give about our views, about our motivations, and joining the community work. It's in today's community, definitely, if the young people go ahead, then the others will definitely follow. And the biggest thing is from our culture, as you know, we came here as an immigrant and we belong to a Sikh culture. We always learned and inspired from our parents and from our gurus to have a habit of giving, not even a taking. And we all know that, like, especially in India and Punjab, we have a gurudwaras where you can get the food even 24/7. They always ready to serve the people who exactly need. So these kind of things, it's not even started in us from the young age. It came from the childhood because we saw our parents what they did for the community, what they served. So the same here. So we both decided when we got married in 2022, we definitely want to join a community work. Be a volunteer in some kind of the institutions where we can serve the people. The best thing is serving to the community definitely gives you a peace. I know, like, being a young, when you hold some kind of like a personal assets, as recently we bought a house, had a car, and we have like a other bills to pay through and go through, but we still manage all that. So behind all these things, you definitely need to set up some kind of priorities. You need to be organized, and you need to schedule a time how you want to utilize for these kind of the things, and how you want to give the time to the community. And the other things, as we do the food hamper on every Sunday at Karnescu. So the day we started over there, we saw the energy in our volunteers, and we saw the people who always come and they need food and something, like how they bless us and how they feel us over there, and how they say how we come over there to help, especially in this winter season. It definitely needs a lot of energy and a lot of work. But once you start it, then you start feeling that you did something lucrative for the community.
Thank you,
And
Sandeep. Navpreet, I have another question for you. Like as Sandeep was saying, it's very easy for South Asian male, including me, right? We
Mhm.
don't do anything at home. Like it's like the untold truth. Like, as a female, like, you're working full time, you are doing your volunteer, family, cooking, all those things, like for a male, we don't do much cooking, right? But as a female, you have other family responsibilities also, managing everything. How do you get a time to doing all those things?
Sunny, truly speaking, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. But you know what? This is something, this was becoming a part of community and doing some kind of volunteer work was an urge in me from a long time. when I was in India, because I have seen my parents helping people. They were keeping this one from their income. So that's why that urge was from my childhood. And over here, the life is super busy. And I'm lucky that I have a good partner. He actually helps me in the work, not all the time because he's busy too. He's at work as well. But it's just like whenever he see me that I'm feeling low, I don't have the energy to do the work. So he's always there. He motivates me, and for giving time for the volunteer work, when we were the very first day with you and with the whole family. Now I call you guys a family because you become a family to us. Everybody's so good, everybody's so welcoming, and the energy is so good over there. It leaves us with the positivity, and we bring that positivity in our house too. So I think that's a great opportunity to do something for ourselves as well, because that gives us a positive energy to in our life. So I think it's a great deed. It's a great deed to be a part of the Infinity Safety. And thank you, Sunny. Thank you for giving us this opportunity.
No,
So it's just like we are trying to manage every single day.
no, I really appreciate, as you said, like Sandeep mentioned about the food hamper program or any other program we do, is a teamwork. It's not just me, right? It's without
Yeah.
everyone's help or support, it could have not been possible. But I have a question for both of you, right? Like being a young, right? When as a young couple, we have different priorities, right? We are in a materialistic world. We have mortgages, we have other family pressures, we have other bills to pay. But dedicating time, like especially dedicating Sundays or any other volunteer time, not only with Infinity Safety Awareness, maybe gurdwaras or temples or other community support groups where you are involved, or even, your social circle, right, where you work, helping the people there too. How do you get, like, it's not just a time, like, inspiring you or just preparing your mind like, okay, I have to do this. But where I can say, oh, no, I'm tired, or I can go party, or I can go to this kitty party, or I can go to this social group where I get a limelight. Why volunteer? Why community work?
If you ask me about that, Sunny, I always say to Navpreet, like, whenever we think for doing something, or if we think like we can't do it, it all depends on our mindset. Our minds, like whatever our mind leads to do, or if our body balance with the mind, then we can do anything, right? As we all know, nothing is impossible. Definitely it's hard into the young life, and we're living in the materialistic world, and most of us like in a rat race to impress the others, like for buying the new things and the other things, right? But when you like decide to do something, then you need to be disciplined. And the other thing is, when you are disciplined in something, then you need to shift your identity to do something. And the other thing is, it was definitely our passion that makes us happy. And now we use our passion to serve the others. Now it makes others happy. And we definitely like grateful for doing that. We don't consider our like young life, I mean, our other activities can push us back, but we definitely encourage each others to do something for us that and for the community that can make us grateful in future.
It's like, Sunny, we are social. We are social. We love to meet new people. We love to meet our own friends, our family member. But we if they will not understand us, our own people will not understand us. So who gonna understand us? So right, that's why if you have the true friends, if you have a very good family, so they will definitely understand you that okay, this is one of their priority. The volunteer work gives them peace. So I think that's what, like, after this, after our conversation, we have our friends are coming at our home. So we told them that we have some work and we want to complete that first, and later we're gonna meet you. So it's just like we try to manage, we try to prioritize everything. So that's it's hard, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, true.
Sandeep, you did mention like, the Sikh religion. We recently, the in December and, all the
Yeah,
good work we had, and then, the Shahidis of all four Sahabzades.
yeah,
Um, so Sikhism, like as you mentioned, like they basically teach us to devote ourselves towards the community, to help other, to protect other, right?
yeah,
Even if we go to Gurdwaras, you can get the langars 24/7, no question asked. If you want, you need a place to stay, you can go and stay there too, right? Not only in India, all over the world.
yeah.
How religion or the community or upbringing helps you that what you're doing?
Um, to be honest, Sunny, our ancestors like definitely like taught us like to serve the community and to do something for the community. It's written in our culture, it's written in our history, like how and why you need to serve. It's definitely all depends on us, like where we gonna take that path and where we can read that all the information. And it's you can even like find out the books where like Sikhism books and about the Sikh people, about the Sikh warriors who helped the others, and who they survived, I mean the community work and the other kind of stuff. So so even if you go to the gurdwaras here or in anywhere, so they don't even ask about your race and they don't even ask about your culture. They are ready to feed you, to give you food and shelter at any time. And we are definitely so grateful for being a part of this culture and the community. And I definitely advise to the today's generations, I mean to people who came here as an immigrant, who have their kids born here, they definitely need to let them to teach our roots. And you know that our gurus always said we all need to recognize a human race as one.
Now, Preet, I have a question for you, or Sandeep. Whoever, you brought this very good topic, like, when we say raising a child is a community thing, right?
Yeah,
Where it's not just your parents, your uncle, aunties, your grandparents, your neighbors, your school teachers, everyone help. And they basically build, like, they mold us who we are. So how that, upbringing helps you, right? Because reason being I'm asking you this question, I will bring that question to Canada, like you don't have a children's now, but once you have a children, how you will see the difference how you were raised and you're raising your children. That you know where I'm leading to, right? So
Exactly.
Navpreet, as you can ask, or Sandeep, you can ask, you can answer whichever way you feel.
Sure, sure. That's a very interesting topic, because that's what we are worried and much focused in these days. So that's why we try to improve each other every single day. We are working on ourselves, because so that we can teach our future generation uh, that about our history, about our roots, about ourselves. So in case of my upbringing, I'm from a very small village. My parents were super strict with us, with all the children, and I think we were lucky enough that they were strict to us. That's why we never chose anything wrong in our life. We were simply studying. We were helping in a community with our parents. We were going to the gurdwara sahib with them, and after our parents, teachers played a great role in my life. I have some teachers. I still talk to Sandeep sometime, that I remember my childhood teacher who motivated me so much. They they uh they were like, I was so quiet at that time. They were always motivating me for the studies, for being a good person, and they always try to you can say they always try to put the light on the good stuff, that okay, you can go for this, you can go for this, if you like this study, then try to more focus on this and be a good person first. So I think teachers, parents, grandparents, they played a big role. They played a big role in our upbringing, and we are lucky enough that we had such good people in our life.
Just want to add up a little bit, as Sunny, Navpreet was talking about, like our teachers had like a great impression on our lives, definitely, because we were attached to a history subjects that was introduced by our governments, and that easily these two, I mean, students can read or go through what our ancestors did and who were the people who made us, or who made our cultures, communities, stuff like that. But here what I found is like the history about our culture, as we are the immigrants and came to the western culture, so we don't want to ignore that all the history, so we need to be a teacher here for our kids. So what we can do is, I know every day's work, 5 days, 6 days are important, we definitely need to give some days with our kids to read the history books if we don't have enough knowledge, and give them a knowledge also about it, and especially for the young couples as us, if we know something then we can deliver to them. So what we always think before, like after we have a kids, we want to prepare ourselves perfectly about our history before they ask us a question. So if they ask something, at least we should
We must
know.
know, yeah.
So I think we are the, I think the teacher that can deliver the more information in the Western culture here to our kids, to lead our roots ahead, to stay and attach with that.
And that's true. Parents are the first teacher for every child. So I think that's why we started, even we start Sunny, we started reading our history books. We started reading on our religion, and so that we can connect them to their roots. If they will ever ask us, if we don't have the answer, then it's very shameful for us if we don't have the answer for them. So that's why we started reading about our history, about our roots, about our religion. And so I think that's a good thing, and we all the youngsters need to do that too.
No, I agree with you. Now you're leading by example, right? Like as a parent, like we get too much involved in our own life, right? Could be working, like, doing two jobs or, business, like too involved in the whole thing. And somehow we leave we are not able to pay the attention to the children. And if we want to give them upbringing, as you said, we have to change ourselves too, because
Yeah.
it starts from us. We can't expect them to do something if we are not following it. If I'm drinking and, at home, then how I'm going to tell them not to drink. If I'm not following the teaching,
Yeah.
of the elders, I can't expect them to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
true.
100% agree with you. As a young couple, right? As a young generation, I should be saying, or the or starting a new life in Canada, what message would you like to give to the same, your age group people who are starting their life in Canada? What they should do, what they can improve, or what they can learn to be a better, or to be satisfied, or have a less stressful life.
To be honest, first, like we enter into the different country than our home country, we definitely need to think first thing we will have a struggle, right? The struggle definitely will lead us to the great path that exactly we need. So what I believe, when I started my journey from my country to the other country to study, I always thought, or my parents even said, I know it's hard to believe, nothing is impossible. The things always comes to put in work if you do some kind of the efforts. So if you ask for the message, I know, like we have to go through lots of hard work, and lots of studies and the things like that, because it's like, especially if we talk about like the language, the I know the English isn't even our first language. We come from a different language, right? So I know it's hard to survive in that, but everything is possible if you firstly if you started that. Yep.
I think, Sunny, we had a hard time. We all are struggling. It's a new country, but we are very blessed that government is so good here. They are accepting us, and they accepted us with open arms. So we are lucky enough to be a part of this country. But we always, whenever someone is coming from back home, I always advise them that you have to be prepared yourself for the struggle, for the hard time, and that's the truth. Because it's life is not easy at anywhere, but over here you have to study, you have to do work, you have to manage your family, you have to manage your life. So that's why you have to be prepared yourself for those circumstances. So it's like always you have to be keep motivated yourself. So think positive, try to listen something positive in the hard times that can motivate you. And I think that's the only thing that you
Yeah,
can do.
and the other thing is, especially just when I talk about the Canada too, it's very welcoming country and a multicultural country, and who like which welcomes to every single person, even from the countries who are still struggling and developing. And we should definitely be aware to work as the rules and the conditions of the Canada, go through with that. So what I think is, the country that gave us a lots of things to give us a better life, we definitely need to serve that country also.
No, thank you. I really agree with, like the country, as Navpreet mentioned and you mentioned too, right? Like the government helps you quite a lot, but they cannot do everything. Like we have to do our efforts. They cannot be our parents. They
Yeah.
provide the resources, but we have to put our hard work to get what we want. I really agree with you. And then, like leading by example, as you mentioned, and stay positive, right? Like do not let it go. Like, to build your strength, internal strength to fight. Nothing is easy, even if we are, if we are raising a family in India too, right? It's not easy. It's challenges
Yeah.
are, but we work together. We work as a team. We work as a family. We work as a society. I really appreciate taking a time and talking to our viewers
Yeah.
and giving your message, right? Thank you. Stay blessed. Stay warm.
Thank you so much for.
You are watching our Community Infinity Safety Awareness podcast. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, Navpreet, for giving your insight about the volunteerism. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Sunny, for taking us here.